It looks like we have a question from Lokendra Sharma. Lokendra, thanks so much for tuning in to Tech Today. And he asks, shall I buy the Flip 4 or the Flip 5? Now, the Flip 4 was a very good phone 1 year ago. Now, after I've come back from Korea, and before I left for Korea, I had a bunch of different views. Before I left for Korea, I told you that there's an Oppo flip phone, then you have the Motorola, and honestly, they look like, well, incremental evolutions. And the Motorola was winning the battle of 2023 until last week, when the Flip 4 became so yesterday, and it turns out we have a new contender, the Z Flip 5. That's right. And because we have it over here, and Lokendra, you've asked a very, very relevant question, while our flips are making all sorts of noises. Now, I'll be very honest about it. Back in the day, this small notification screen seemed to work for Samsung for so many years when they were the only players in the market. Then comes along Oppo with a much bigger and a more functional screen, but still not the whole gamut. Then comes Motorola, the OG of foldables, and says, hey, we've got this Razr 40 Ultra, which we showed you last week. And all of these three devices looked very different. But then at Galaxy Unpacked, which you saw exclusively here on Tech Today, and now you're seeing the first look of the Z Flip 5 in India. Now, you saw it in Korea when we gave you the initial impressions, but let's unbox this device. There you go. What's so different about the Flip 5? And Lokendra, since you're on the market in this week of 2023, please wait for this to come in your hands. Have a look at the Fold as well. In fact, the Fold 5 from the Fold 4 was minimal innovation, if you ask me. If you were getting a good deal on the Fold 4, it's not a bad idea. But the Flip is a whole different ball game. I'm just going to keep it right here. This is the first time we've done an unboxing on this Ask Ayush segment. It just looks so much more premium with this massive cover screen. This is the Flip 4 that you were considering, and this is the Flip 5. I think that answers your main question. The fact that Samsung now has this massive display on the outside, which is incredibly functional and utilitarian. You can do all sorts of things. Do your work from here. You can use the widgets on it. Now, it's one thing to have a much bigger cover screen in the Flip 5, nearly 3.5 inches, but it's another thing to have a lot more utility and usefulness in that screen. You have so many widgets over here which you can use. So often you don't need to even, well, open the screen except when you want to consume content on it. Now, under the hood, of course, this comes with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. And there's one more design change. Look, they already had water and dust resistance on a flip and fold device, which is a big industry first by Samsung a couple of years ago. But if you looked at last year's or any of the previous foldables, there was quite a gap right here. You could fit a visiting card right here, and that often attracted a lot of, well, let's just say foreign bodies or dust particles. Now, there is practically, with the new Flip 5, firstly, the flexing mechanism is much smoother. And when you do shut it, it seems like something incremental, but there is absolutely no gap in between. And that's quite a design. At 80,000 rupees for the base model, I don't know about the rest of the competition. We'll have to test this extensively and compare it with the other devices, but it is definitely a more value for money proposition than, well, its previous edition.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.